Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel, a Nigerian living in Germany. My name is Matthew and I appreciate you being here. First of all, I want to thank you very much for tuning in and for subscribing. And if you are new to my channel, I appreciate you. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much. Today we're going to be doing a topic about Nigeria. We're going to be talking about 10 things that are funny and not so funny things about Nigeria. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, I did funny and not so funny things about Germany. Now is the time to do the same thing about Nigeria. Before I start, I would like to say that not everything on this list is funny. That's why I said funny and not so funny. In fact, one or two of them is pretty much very, very sad. At least that's the way I look at it. And if you stay tuned, you will know at least what I'm talking about. So let's go. The first thing I want to talk about is generalization. Nigerians, we can generalize, especially when it comes to things like the body parts. If a Nigerian has problems with his shoulder or his elbow or his wrist, he's going to tell you he has a problem with his hand. So from here and there, anything that has to do upper body here, everything is the hand. But you have to be specific when you are asking the Nigerian questions. Also, for example, if a Nigerian is going to ask you about a toothpaste, he's going to ask you, he might ask you the brand name that he's used to. He's not going to ask you, for example, do you have toothpaste? He's going to ask you something like, do you have Pepsodent or do you have Close-Up? If you have another brand name, you have to tell him. Because if you think he's just looking for Close-Up or McLean's, then you'll be mistaken. Nigerian call every car that's a little bit high Jeep. That's the brand name for all higher cars. Even if it is a mini SUV or it doesn't matter. As long as it's a little bit higher, Nigeria will just categorize everything as Jeep. Nigerians don't care if Jeep is a brand name. As long as a Nigerian is concerned, every car that's a little bit higher than the normal thing, the Nigerian will call it a Jeep. That's another thing about the Nigerian. The second thing you have to know about Nigerians is about the social media. In one of my last videos, I will put a link below it. I told you guys that the average Nigerians, we are very, very crazy about in the social media. One thing you have to realize about Nigerians is they send a lot of, in my opinion, what I would call funny messages. I don't think any other person does this, but Nigerians, they like at the beginning of the month, they like sending messages like Happy New Month. You know, the rest of the world might say Happy New Year or Happy Christmas. Every single month, Nigerians will send you messages and they will tag it like Happy New Month. They will send you pictures about things depicting the new month. I don't really know how this trend started, but it's one of the few things I can't grasp. I don't really understand why we do that, but Nigerians always send messages about having Happy New Month. They celebrate the new month as if it's, I don't know, if there's something special about it. And coupled with this is Nigerians, they like sending prayers. Nigerians are very, very religious people. They send prayers for everything. And if it's everything that has to do with wishing you success or wishing you good life or just wishing you success in anything that you are trying to put your hands on, in Nigerians, we send you prayers. They do this all the time. It is, I don't really know where this trend started, but I think it's because in Nigeria, we are very, very religious. So Nigerians are very good at sending messages at the beginning of every month. Happy New Month, that's what they call it. And they send you prayers for every little thing that you're involved in. That is a Nigerian for you. The third thing we talk about is languages. Remember a couple of weeks ago, we did a program and I told you at least every Nigerian speaks at least 2 different languages. Like I said, in Nigeria, we have over 350 languages, and there are some very, very important words that cannot be found in some languages. I give you an example. I come from Benin, and we speak Edo or Benin, and there is not really a word that says brother. If you are a brother or a sister, there is not one word that would say, like in English language you say brother, in German you say Bruder, but there is no one word in my language in Benin that says brother. The only thing that comes close to it is like my sibling that is a man, my male sibling. That describes the word brother, or my female sibling, or my female sibling. That is the word for sister. But just one word like brother and sister, we don't have it in my language. Brother is one word, but in my language there is no one word that describes brother. You have to explain it. That's like in my language you say Oteme Nokbia, which is my brother, my male sibling, or my sibling that is a man, something like that. That's the way to interpret it. But the word, just one word, brother, we don't have it. Or sister, you say Oteme Nohu, which is my sibling that is a female. But one word, sister, we don't have it. And another example is like in Yoruba, the word O-G-U-N. You spell it, it will be Ogun. Now, if you ask any Yoruba language, if you ask any Yoruba person, they will tell you that the word Ogun can stand for so many things. It can be brother, it can be a name of a person. Ogun can be a name of a person. But if you don't pronounce it well, it can be that you are sweating. That's what I'm trying to say. So there are some languages that don't have one word to describe everything. And like in most languages, one word can mean different things. That is Nigerians for you. Number 4, if you ask a Nigerian where he lives, you got to be specific about asking him. He might not just tell you the street. The way we write our address in Nigeria is we might write the number, the house number, and then the street that we live in, and then we write OFF, which is off the main street. That's the main street that is in this area. That is how we describe where we live at. If a man is living, if a person is living in street A, but the main street where you can divert to get to that street A is street Z, he's not going to tell you that he lives in street A. He's going to tell you that he lives in street Z, because that's the main street. There's a popular street in Benin City called Forest Street, for example. It's called Forestry Road. If anybody lives on the street that goes off the Forest Road, he's not going to tell you that he lives on Oni Street, for example. He's going to tell you that he lives on the Forestry Road. Why? Because Forestry Road is very popular, and if you can get to Forestry Road, then you can get to his street. What he might do is going to tell you that you take a taxi and you drop by Forestry Road, and then you now turn right and you turn left, and then you get to my street. But he will not tell you the name of the street direct, because it might be a tiny street and you might not be able to find it with a taxi. So he will tell you this, he lives on the main street. And when you get to the main street, you will now get to the street that he lives at. A little bit complicated, but that's the way Nigerians are. Now you know. Number 5 and number 6. I'm putting it together because this is one of the sad things that I was talking about at the beginning of this video. I will call it paradox. The richest person in Africa is a Nigerian. He's Aliko Dangote. He's the richest person in Nigeria, but at the same time, the poorest person that you will find in Africa might be in Nigeria. Nigeria is very rich, but the people, they are poor. It is very, very paradoxical. Part of the problem, part of the reasons for this is mismanagement, corruption, and just outright greed. Second thing that's very, very paradoxical about Nigeria is Nigerians, we are very, very educated. Nigerians are not just the most educated people in Africa. Nigerians are the most educated people in the whole of the United States. If you talk about the immigrants, for example, in the United States, over 60% of Nigerians in the United States has at least a first degree. Back to Africa, Nigerians are very, very educated. But the paradox about it is that although we are very educated, we elect illiterate and unskilled people to rule us. I didn't say to lead us because they are not leaders, but they rule us. The present Nigerian government, it was a former army general, okay, and if up to now, nobody really knows if he went to secondary school. It's being disputed if he has a school leaving certificate. And this person is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a country that is made up of very, very educated and well-to-do people. But we elect unskilled and illiterates to rule over us. That is paradoxical and very, very sad. That is Nigeria for you. Number 7, questions. In Nigeria, we're very good at answering questions with questions. If you ask a Nigerian a question, before you answer the question, he might ask you a question at the same time. But there is this story about a foreign journalist that came to Nigeria and about to find out if this is true. He arrived at the airport, and the very first Nigerian that he met, he asked him, is it true that Nigerians answer questions with questions? And the Nigerian asked him back, who told you that? Yeah, that answered the question, right? And the other thing is, for example, if you are eating, and a Nigerian might come and see you and ask you the same question too. Say, are you eating? Of course you are eating, but the Nigerians will ask you, the typical Nigerian would ask you, are you eating? Even though he can purely see that you are eating, but the Nigerian will still ask you a question, are you eating? That is a Nigerian for you. Now you know. Number 8, and this is another one that is very, very sad. Nigeria is purely blessed with mineral resources, but we don't know how to manage it. As a result of mismanagement and corruption, Nigeria is a very, very funny place. For example, we have crude oil. We have crude oil in Nigeria, but we export the crude oil outside Nigeria to be refined abroad, and then we now pay for this same crude oil as fuel to be sent back to the country, and then we now pay for it. Number 9, and this is also a very sad thing. Nigeria is a big country. Nigeria is the biggest country in terms of population in the whole of Africa. Because Nigeria is so big and diverse, it's a little bit intimidating. It's a little bit intimidating for other African countries to accept Nigerians, especially if they are also out of the continent. If you are a Nigerian, you know what I'm talking about. If you're talking to other African people and they know that you are Nigerian, immediately, I don't want to call it inferiority complex, but there is something like a wall. There's something like a wall that is built between you and the person that is also an African. They get scared or they get intimidated because you are a Nigerian. You will know what I'm talking about if you are a Nigerian and you are living abroad. Part of the reasons for this is because of our colonial history, especially the British. The British taught other Africans to be scared of Nigeria because we are very, very powerful in terms of population. And because of our colonial mentality, other African countries have just got into this groove of being scared of the average Nigerian. Part of the reason, like I said, is because of our colonial history and because of what we Nigerians are doing in various countries too. That's the way I look at it. Like I said, this is a channel where we can talk together. We can discuss issues there. If you have a different opinion, please put it there. Let's talk. That's why we have this channel. I have no problem with discussing with people that are very educated and have different opinions. That's what the discussion is all about. If you are a Nigerian, it is very, very disrespectful to call the first name of the person that is older than you. It is very, very disrespectful. That's why most Nigerians, if you sense that they are older than you don't call them or her by the first name. You say brother or sister or auntie or uncle. Like I said, because in our culture, it is very, very disrespectful for you to call the first name of the person that is older than you. Another thing that is closely related to this is if a person is married, especially women, if a woman is married, it is absolutely disrespectful for you to call this person by the first name. What most people say is what people do is if the person has a child automatically she becomes the mother of the firstborn. So, for example, if you are a woman and your first child is called James, you automatically become the mother of James. In my language, we say Iye James, which means the mother of James, or James mother. That's how we show respect to people. If you are in Europe, it's a little bit different. If you are explaining to a European, some people like it, some people don't like it, some people don't understand it. But that's how we are in Nigeria. If a person is married, especially the woman, if a woman is married, it is disrespectful for you to call this person by her first name. And for a man too, it is disrespectful, of course, to call the person by his first name. So what you do is, for the man, you call him the father of James, if James is his firstborn, mostly firstborn anyway, especially if you know the firstborn by name. Thank you very much for tuning into my channel. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my videos. I really do appreciate you for being here. Thank you very much. Another thing that you can do is there is a bell below this here. There's a bell below there. Just click on it, and whenever I have any new videos online or on YouTube, you'll be notified. Thank you very much. Have a good day.